state superintendent in an article in the Youngstown Vindicator as recently as August 29th, 2014. The headline read, "State Superintendent Disappointed with Youngstown Schools' Lack of Progress." Now, at first blush, you would think he is doing you a favor. That would be State Superintendent Ross. He is not doing black families a favor. As a matter of fact, his critique, as he states in the article, in being disappointed in the lack of progress, is really failure on his part because he is in charge of the progress that is supposed to be made in Youngstown City Schools. He, the state superintendent, under the state law ORC 3302.10, is charged with making sure that that progress takes place. So let me repeat. The state superintendent, Superintendent Ross, who is unhappy with the progress, is in charge of making sure the progress takes place. So basically, he made a political statement, not an executive statement. An executive statement would have been, I'm going to make sure that progress takes place. Now, this is a twofold statement that I'm going to make. One has to do with the political statement that appeared in the Vindicator, i.e., he is disappointed, which is a political statement. Number two, he should have been stated more clearly that he was going to bring his team together. Who makes up his team? According to this document, which is ORC 3302.10, the Academic Distress Commission for Districts in Academic Emergency, of which Youngstown City Schools in 2009 was declared in academic emergency. And at that time, under that law passed in 2007 by the Ohio State Legislature, only the state superintendent is in charge. That would be, in this case, State Superintendent Ross. So being disappointed means he's disappointed in himself. In this case, his staff, the Academic Distress Commission, which he appointed, the people who work under the Academic Distress Commission, which would include the local superintendent, Connie Hathorn. You remember last time I said, this is the same superintendent who said, I can't, no I won't do anything special for black children, unquote, have failed over the last 4 years to make progress in moving the academic achievement for Youngstown City Schools. All the children, but specifically for black children. Again, I'm going to say to you, black families, you need to wake up, you need to talk to your pastor, you need to talk to the members of your family, you need to call 330-744-6900 and find out why this superintendent, Connie Hathorn, refuses to do anything special to help the 66% of children in this district who are of African descent do better when the President of the United States has passed an executive order 13621, Educational Excellence for Black students, to get it done. Now, having said that, I want to go back to the state superintendent, who, according to the Vindicator News, August 29th, you can go on Vindy.com and pull up that article under Denise Dick, the reporter. The state superintendent states, I am disappointed with the lack of progress, he said in a phone call, whether it be the school board, the administration, or staff, or the Academic Distress Commission. The bottom line is they haven't gotten the job done. What needs to be done, and that's a big statement. if you took it on its face. But basically, he's in charge of everyone except the board. He's in charge of the superintendent. He's in charge of the Academic Distress Commission. He's in charge of the staff. He's in charge of everyone except one other person. The Assistant Attorney General for the state of Ohio is at each of those meetings to make sure that this law, ORC 3302.10, is carried out. And remember, the only person named in this law that is in charge of ensuring that the children of Youngstown City Schools get a better education, as a matter of fact it says continuous improvement up to and including a C on its report card, is the state superintendent. That would be State Superintendent Ross. He now wants to put the blame on you, the parent, the faith community, and business. Well, let's take a look at that. Business is already involved. Faith community is already involved. You go to church. And for those of you who don't go to church, that's your prerogative. But they don't get paid to do Superintendent Ross's job. They do not get paid to do Superintendent Hathorn's job. Now, if Superintendent Hathorn makes probably around $140,000 to $150,000 a year in compensation. He has a 4-year failing record. He has a deputy superintendent that makes probably $102,000 a year plus. He has an assistant superintendent that makes $98,000 plus. That's just right here locally. Now, I'm certain the state superintendent makes more. All of those paid persons are supposed to get the job done. And now he is saying he'd like for you to do his job. He also states in the article that maybe community schools, open enrollment, all that should happen. But all of that is already going on and is on the state report card. The issue here is the state superintendent is not doing his job, and he's attempting to abdicate that responsibility, which is outlined under this document, which is ORC 3302.10. He needs to do his job. You need to call him on his job. You need to call Superintendent Hathorn on his job. You need to call your board members. They are your elected officials. Ask them to get an attorney and to call these people to task to get their job done. Now that's your job. You're paying their salary. And remember, even the board gets paid to me to carry out your business. My name is Jimma McWilson. You can reach me via the Parent-Student Union, 330-776-8609. Call me. You need to get busy. You need to get involved. You need to make a difference. If you care about black children and you want to help this president help you help your child get a better education, you need to get involved.